Alright, so today we are going to, well, I guess for my first video, I should say, I'm going to be working on this Jolene bag from Creative All. I've done quite a few of their projects. I really like the stuff they make. This here is just a simple purse, I guess, shoulder bag. Um, we're going to be making it exactly how you see here with the brown color. Um, I think we're going to be using a 3 to 4 ounce or 4 to 5 ounce top grain leather. Um, the cool thing about Creative All here is Creative All does actually provide a laser cut file. Now, if it isn't, I do hand cut, hole punch all my patterns by hand. But if any time there is a group that is offering, or a pattern, I should say, that is offering a laser cut file, 100% believe I'm going to go that route. It just saves a lot of time. You can push through the project a little quicker, and it's a lot less taxing on the hands. So here it is. We're going to go over and open. So I already opened here. So we get this. So I opened up the laser cut file already. I have an Xtool D1 Pro that I went ahead and upgraded and bought the extension arms to, so that way I can do a lot larger patterns. And you see here, this here gusset piece is a long piece, and if it doesn't fit on the laser for whatever reason, I do go through and I cut all these pieces by hand and hole punch them by hand. But since we do have the laser here, we're going to modify this pattern a bit. And by modifying it is they did a great job of grouping everything here, but it's not all going to fit on the laser cutter itself. So what I end up doing is everything was grouped together whenever it opens up. You know what, I'm just going to start this over so we can see how it goes. I'm going to go ahead and close that one. We're not going to save it. Start with a blank canvas here. I already set this up as the slide extension. So we're going to go ahead and over here, we're going to file, we're going to import an image. So whenever you download from them, here's a bunch of past projects and things I've downloaded online or people have sent me that they want done, and things I do for myself, or gifts that I've given people for things. But whenever you download laser cut files, they come as a DXF file like that. So Creative All has it. So we're going to do the Jolene bag laser cut DXF file, as you can see there. We'll click on that. We'll go ahead and open it. Open it. Now it's going to come larger than my canvas, and I don't want it to fit my canvas. I want the original size because I'm going to modify it down to go ahead and fit my canvas. I'm going to give that time. It's got to scale it. So here it is in its original form to fit my canvas. Obviously it's too big for it, so we're going to open up a secondary window. I'll make a lot of odd noises. I'm still new at this, right? So here's my secondary window. I'm going to go ahead and change that to use slide extension. And it's going to change my canvas to that larger slide extension setup. And whenever I get to the point where I'm going to cut this out on the laser, I'll have that in this video as well. So here we have that. We're going to go back to the original page. Everything is there. We have to ungroup it, because if I just try to click on one, or if I click away from it, it's there. Everything's all grouped together, and it's just going to try to move it as just one giant pattern. Well, I have got to go through, and this is the long part of it. It's still faster, even though this does take time. It is still ultimately faster than having to go through and cut, well, actually piece the pattern out paper-wise. And eventually in one of my other videos where I ended up doing that anyways, there's other companies that don't offer laser cut files. So I still have to print them, cut them out, piece them together, tape them together to make my pattern. and then put it on the leather by hand, tape it down, and go through that whole process. And then we'll do that in another video some other time. But for now, I'm going to show you how we're going to ungroup this on Xtools thing. I do have another laser cut application that I've used, but Xtool does a really great job and they keep updating and upgrading, and they've made it really user friendly to go ahead and do these things. But anyways, so we have all of this here, it's all grouped together. We're going to go ahead and ungroup it. Now that it's ungrouped, I'll click off of it and I can zoom in. We're going to move this here. So that luckily grouped all there, so now we can click off of that. We're going to highlight, hopefully, just what we need. Oh, didn't grab them all. So if you zoom in, I missed it. Those still stayed red. So if I hit group now, it's going to skip those holes right there. We don't want to skip that. So let's unclick that again. We'll try this once more. Got him there, got him there. Bring that back out. Boom. So now we're going to hit group. Now this piece is all together. All those pieces are all together, all the holes are where they're supposed to be, everything's lined up perfectly. We can click off of that. That's going to stay itself 100%. So now we're going to come to the next one and we're going to do the same thing. And the hard part is if you go just a little too far, it'll grab another one. See how it grabbed the long piece? We don't want the long piece with it. We don't need that to be grouped with it. So you have to be, it's a little tricky, it's a little meticulous. Again, even though it is a little bit of work, it's still ultimately faster. Hit group on that. Now we can move this guy up and out of the way. And as you can see, we left no holes behind. Everything stayed nice and put together over there. This one's a little trickier because this guy here, in order to get this over here, we'd catch that corner there. So we're going to go ahead and go to these first. And even though they're closer together, the laser has such tight tolerances that I can actually group these individually. And they're identical, so normally what I would do is if I grouped one, I would just leave it and then copy and paste. But for the sake of the video, we're going to go ahead and just individually group these. Those are grouped, move it over there. So again, down, over. I got all of those, I believe. Yep. Let's go ahead and group that. Move that over here. And we're just going through and getting this pattern ready so we can readjust it, realign it, and set it up for how we need to fit on ours. And you got to pay attention to the pattern too. So like these guys over here, these long pieces here, those are, if you go back to the bag, those are the lace pieces here. I don't need to cut the lace. I have lace already in spools that I can use. I can go pick my own color lace. It's if you didn't have that and you wanted to cut it out, you could actually cut out the lace by hand. I'm a hand talker apparently. I'm here pointing at the screen and doing stuff like if you can see it. Irrelevant. So let's go back over here. We're going to zoom out. This one will probably be a little tricky. over. And now we got those all done perfectly. These guys here, again, we're going to be cutting the lace out by hand, so we're not going to use these. So we're going to go ahead and just get rid of those. Boom. Now, each one of these pieces is all set up on its own. Every piece is there. We're good to go there. Now, if you look closely on this pattern here, it has these two little slits cut in it. And that is because there's a magnet that goes there. It's a magnet clasp. And then over here we have two little slits cut there because it's a magnet clasp. I don't need that. So I have different setup for that. I have a rivet clasps, and they're over here. I can't show you. I'm screen recording. Anyways, so I have magnet clasp. So what I'm going to do is we're going to modify this pattern. So what I want, and because I can make it bigger later, it doesn't really matter. What we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and this little guy has holes that I would like. These holes are already perfectly sized for what I need. So we're going to go ahead and there, we're going to ungroup that. We're going to click off of it. We're going to click, it's tricky. We're going to click just the single little hole. We're going to go ahead and copy that. And then we're going to bring it over here. We're going to paste it. And there's that little hole, right? So small. It's hard to bring it. So we're going to drag it over here where we want it. And we're going to bring it right over here. And we're going to try to center it. So, tricky enough, we're going to go ahead and ungroup this one because we're modifying the pattern. So we want that circle and that circle. And what we're going to do is we want to center it. So we're going to go horizontal center line, and then we're going to do it again and go vertical center line. And now that little circle is centered inside that big circle. But we don't need the big circle. So we're going to delete that. And we don't need the little slits. So we're going to go ahead and delete those. And now I have exactly where I need it, a circle perfectly centered in that pattern for the magnet clasp that I use. So now we're going to reassess this, regroup everything back together. My ear keeps popping. But anyways, so everything's regrouped back together. That hole is centered right where we need it. And we're done there. So I should be able to redo another little hole. And we're going to bring this one all the way down. Again. So we're going to ungroup this one because we're modifying. It's a lot of repetitive words, but it's what's got to get done. So we're going to bring this one over here. And this one's going to be harder because I don't have a circle to deal with. But what I'm going to do is, let's see if I can